Hello and welcome to my channel. Today, I'm going to be discussing and analyzing that amazing new trailer for Persona 5 Royal that was announced at the end of the first day of the Persona Super Live concert. This trailer not only gives us the identity of the mysterious girl we saw in the previous teaser, but also shows us a lot of what we can expect from this new definitive and expanded version of the game. So let's get into it. First, we start off in the familiar interrogation room with Akechi talking to Joker after his capture by police. Akechi says, "I think you understand, right? Did you think I would gladly accept your pity? I don't need it. I don't need your hesitation." Without context, we can't really tell what he's referring to here. My thoughts are that maybe in this new version of the game, you're able to get closer to Akechi and have a greater bond than in the previous game. But he still ends up double-crossing you because he's too fueled by his hate for Shido. Hence why he wouldn't want Joker to hesitate or pity him for making this choice. Continuing on though, we see Joker at the Shibuya crossing wondering what is going on because everyone is frozen around him, similar to when he notices the MetaNav app on his phone for the first time. While Joker is at Shibuya crossing, we see a TV turn on in a very Midnight Channel-esque way a la Persona 4, with our mysterious girl, now known as Kasumi Yoshizawa, saying, "I have stolen other people's dreams." What she says here, I think, implicates her being part of how the Persona 5 story is being expanded, and why some other things later in the trailer show up, but I will elaborate further on this at the end of the video. I'm assuming this part takes place on December 24th, right before or after Joker decides to confess to the Phantom Thieves his crimes so that his friends won't be implicated. I assume this happens at this point because Atlas has said that Persona 5 Royal will add an entirely new semester to the game that wasn't in the original title. We have also confirmed via Dengeki PlayStation Magazine that Kasumi will appear from the beginning of the game, which adds further context to what's going on in the trailer. The trailer continues, showing the use of grappling hooks, which appears to be an important addition to the game in its gameplay due to its multiple showings in this trailer, as well as being a main gameplay mechanic of Joker in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. We're shown some new beautiful and colorful art of the Phantom Thieves that could be a new opening to the game, as well as a presumably new and catchy opening theme by the lead singer Lin and presumably Persona series composer Shoji Meguro. Next, we're given some more voiceover suggesting the exploration of a new area similar to Shibuya called Kichijoji. The new area seems to include many new shops, as well as a clothing shop where you may be able to buy new outfits for Joker and the other Phantom Thieves, similar to the outfit edition that Persona 4 received in Persona 4 Golden. We're also shown more use of the grappling hook in Kamoshida's palace, as well as new unlockable areas, which suggest new expansions and gameplay additions to palaces previously explored in the original game. The trailer also gives us multiple new anime cutscenes, including one showing Joker speaking to Kasumi. Another addition to Persona 5 Royal is a new confidant of the Consultant Arcana named Takuru Maruki, who is a guidance counselor that was hired after the events that took place with Mr. Kamoshida. He expresses thanks to An for accepting his invitation for advice, which makes sense considering what she and her friend Shiho went through due to Kamoshida's terrible actions. An also expresses to him that she believes someone is stalking her, which could be Yusuke, since he is the next party member you meet after Kamoshida's palace. Takuda's addition to the game and the information he seems to gain from the Phantom Thieves through their chats leads me to believe that he could be a very important character when it comes to how this new version of Persona 5 will play out in the end. Next, we see more use of the grappling hook in Okumura's palace, which further suggests its gameplay usefulness and its use in expanding the exploration of palaces. Next, we see that Persona 5 Royal will also add new elements to the turn-based gameplay by adding a new all-out attack for Futaba, as well as new powerful duo/team-up attacks between party members. Again, similar to how Atlas expanded on the powers of Navigator Rise, as well as the addition of team-up attacks with members of the investigation team in Persona 4 Golden. The trailer further shows new events as we see Makoto seemingly organizing a gym class or possibly track meet. We also see Joker showing up to help and attack Kasumi near Shibuya, which could possibly lead into the Phantom Thieves coming to aid her in her ending up awakening her persona. Speaking of awakening, we're given another anime cutscene with Kasumi appearing to be very nervous and stressed out or afraid as she either witnesses someone's metaverse form or she herself awakens to her persona. The trailer continues showing new possible events via new hangout spots like an aquarium, as well as a sports bar called Penguin Sniper, Darts and Billiards, where you see Joker hanging out with his friends, which may give us a new side events as well as maybe increasing Joker's skill stats as you play games. This scene also shows the game will add new character portraits, as Ryuji's is shown here. Next, we're given a new team-up attack, this time with Ryuji and Makoto, as well as our first look at Kasumi in gameplay in her new Phantom Thief attire, which is designed to suit her athletic gymnast background and is very reminiscent of Joker's attire by her use of red gloves and a black coat. We're also given a new anime cutscene of what looks like to be the destruction of an unknown palace. When you look further, however, into this cutscene, you can see a glimpse of a split second of what appears to be a Loki wielding version of Akechi sitting next to Haru on the Morgana bus due to his black and blue striped attire, suggesting that this takes place after Shido's palace. During this scene, we also get VO from Morgana saying, "Granting everyone's wishes? What kind of justice is that?" As well as later VO suggesting that Yusuke and Ryuji had run away at some point due to these wishes, which further feeds into my ideas about the new additions to the Persona 5 Royal story, which I will discuss later. The trailer next gives us multiple new anime cutscenes, including a gracefully dancing Kasumi at what appears to be a school dance, as well as Joker overhanging over Tokyo and eventually dropping down, possibly to go back to rescue someone from a new or expanded palace, while we're given VO of Morgana saying, "This is what true righteousness is to us," further adding to my theory to be discussed. The trailer ends with, again, more use of the grappling hook, as well as a Japan release date of October 31st of 2019. We're also given official box art of the game and pricing information suggesting a full standard release, as well as a limited or collector's edition, ruling out the idea that this would be just a DLC release, and instead confirms Persona 5 Royal to be an entirely new game release. Atlas USA also gave us a new trailer teasing a 2020 release date for the West and Asia. This is the end of the trailer, but there is even more to dissect. By way of Persona Central via Famitsu, we're given tons of screenshots as well as information on the enhancements of Persona 5 Royal. We learn that the game will include new music as well as UI improvements, and even updated visuals that take advantage of the PS4 Pro to allow for 4K resolution and HDR. The screenshots show us more updated character portraits, with this one of Makoto, as well as multiple of Ryuji. We're also shown that one of Joker's classmates and confidant Mishima, or rather a cognitive version of him, will now have a part to play in Kamoshida's boss battle. We're also given more events with Kasumi at the track meet, the aquarium, at a restaurant with Akechi, and also a lunchroom scene with her and Joker, which could be lunch scenes that had been found to be previously removed from the original game. We're also given a screenshot of the Twin Warden Velvet Room attendants, Caroline and Justine, outside of the Velvet Room, which hopefully suggests an expansion of their confidant, as well as deeper character events and moments with them. Another screenshot shows Kasumi in her Phantom Thief attire in what appears to be Sei Nijima's palace due to the look of the enemy shadows, as well as the huge dice in the background, which suggests that she will awaken to her persona during or before the Phantom Thieves' infiltration of Sai's palace. Lastly, we're given a screenshot of what appears to be a human form of Morgana, similar to how Teddy from Persona 4 was also able to have a human form, as well as a screenshot of what appears to be a puzzled Joker looking at an equally puzzled Sojiro looking at Futaba and Wakaba Ishiki? Her mother? What? That makes no sense! Or does it? Now that we have looked at everything released for Persona 5 Royal thus far, let's look into my theory for what may be going on in the story. To give context to what this new added third semester will bring to the game, note that previously in the original Persona 5, the final boss fight would occur on December 24th, Joker is questioned and taken to Juvenile Hall on the 25th, and the game skips all the way to January 1st, where the remaining members of the Phantom Thieves agree to continue to try and get Joker out of Juvie. Then the confidants you gain during the game are shown voicing Joker's innocence throughout January, until on February 13th when Sei Nijima visits Joker in Juvie to let him know he'll be released due to witness testimony in the Shido case. Joker then returns with Shojiro to have a touching reunion with his friends in Morgana. We then see Valentine's Day events the next day, and then the game skips again all the way to March 19th, where Joker says his goodbyes, with March 20th being the final scene of the game. That's a huge month gap that this new game will hopefully fill out. Now, we already know that Kasumi will be present from the start of the game, so I don't believe she will affect the story that dramatically until her Persona's awakening that we assume will take place during or after Sainijima's palace. Takuro Maruki's presence from presumably the end of Kamoshida's palace will make a greater impact from the start, I think, to the point where we get near the start of the trailer on December 24th. Now, my theory is that Persona 5 Royal will dramatically change the ending of Persona 5. Obviously, adding an entirely new semester from the original game's end on is already quite a dramatic change, but I think the events that happened during that time are much more significant than they seem. The biggest takeaway I get from this trailer is, I think there's going to be desire manipulation going on here. The way Kasumi says, "I have stolen other people's dreams," and the way Morgana says, "granting everyone's wishes," what kind of justice is that? Leads me to believe that at some point in the story, Yaldabaoth maybe influences Kasumi, telling her that by helping him grant the Phantom Thieves' desires, they will have the power to help themselves rather than force their righteous will onto others, which is a callback to the second P5R teaser where Kasumi expresses her opinion that she'd prefer that people help themselves rather than having the Phantom Thieves employ their methods onto people. This idea of creating a world where the Phantom Thieves' true desires are manifested would make the idea of Wakaba Ishiki being alive and Morgana having a human form all make sense, because Futaba wants nothing more than her mother back, and Morgana wants nothing more than to know what his true self is, and he believes that his true self is to be that of a human. Does this mean in this desire-filled world we will see Yusuke's mother alive? Will Makoto's father be alive? We can't possibly know at this point, but how would Yaldabaoth, or Kasumi for that matter, know what these deep-held desires are if the Phantom Thieves only express them through their private conversations with Joker? A guidance counselor, perhaps? Someone none other than Takuro Maruki? A person that would be able to hear the desires from the Phantom Thieves through assumed confidential meetings? Following this logic, I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that Takuro is some form of Yaldabaoth or someone that serves him, and because of his access to the Phantom Thieves' private information, he's able to help Yaldabaoth influence Kasumi and allow for the creation of a pseudo-world where the Phantom Thieves' greatest desires are projected, leaving them content with life rather than rebelling against society and fighting for what is right. That's why I think Ryuji and Yusuke expressed that they're sorry for running away, which I assume means that they decided to be enveloped in this fantasy world that was created and eventually came to their senses. I think Joker will be the only one that can see through the desire projections because he has the strongest will of rebellion within him, and he'll be the one to bring back everyone to their senses, with all of the Phantom Thieves, including Kasumi, fighting Yaldabaoth for real this time, and or Takuto's true form, or both for that matter, as Morgana sums it up nicely by saying, "This is what true righteousness is to us." Wow, that was certainly a lot to unpack from a 3-minute trailer and a handful of screenshots. But oh boy, this gets me super excited to see how the story will play out when I get my hands on the game at some point in 2020. But that's not all. We were also given a tease from Atlus of yet even more information coming on May 9th, so there will be even more to discuss in the future before the game gets officially released. But that time is so far away. Until then, thank you so much for watching my video. If you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe to my channel if you feel so inclined. Leave a comment below to let me know how you think P5R will change the story of Persona 5 and how you think Kasumi and Takuro are involved. Or maybe let me know what other Persona-centric topics you'd like me to discuss in the future. It's one of my favorite things to talk about after all. You can also follow me on Twitter at Randleton, where I tweet and retweet all matters of Persona and nerdiness. Again, thank you so much for coming by, and remember,
Every day's great at your Junas.